Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, outsiders and in-betweeners. My name is Cameron Harris, and I'm running for mayor of Chicago in the 2027 election cycle. Have you guys ever seen an alien? When I lived out in Western Illinois, out in Forreston, Illinois, I saw two UFOs twice. The first time was in the North Cornfield, in the direction of Freeport, in the direction of like Alberta's airfield, whatever you want to call it. I don't really remember. The second time was in the East Cornfield, in the direction of Byron Nuclear Facility. And I have always believed aliens are real. And so I, like everyone else, indulge in like the alien conspiracies, alien controversy, just kind of casually, because for the fun of it. And people always like to point out the frequency of alien sightings around like airports and nuclear facilities. And then lo and behold, the only two times I've seen a UFO is in the direction of the airport and direction of Byron Nuclear Facility. Blew my mind. I only saw them during the summer. Only ever when the weather was nice, I suppose. And it was so bizarre. They literally just, I don't even remember what I was doing, but I remembered looking up into the East Cornfield, and there's this silver dot, like the tip of a needle or the ball in a ballpoint pen, just hanging out in the sky. And I'm staring at it for a few seconds, and then it just vanishes. And not in like a Hollywood special effects kind of way. Not in like a warble or like any sort of like visual wiggling or like a haze. Like it just gone. Like I blinked, but I didn't blink. It just vanished. I have complicated feelings about the existence of aliens because I believe that there are only three members of like the alien, like extraterrestrial community, if you would. You have us, anyone who's like a pre-enlightened civilization, you know what I mean? Not spacefaring, you know what I mean? And then you have the Federation, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a coalition of like worlds and planets and peoples for interstellar trade. In the same way I describe like the European Union as a system of like hoops and ladders to settle international dispute in favor of trade, Federation works through a similar concept. And then there's the third society, which I call Empire. Someone always has to be first, right? And in this instance, this is Empire, where like 300 billion years ago, basically, like literally like they're the first people, and they conquered the galaxy, like all of creation. And then one day, the second man shows up. Like a second sapient, sentient species just pops into existence. And like I say, the first man always kills the second man. Like Cain kills Abel, Quetzalcoatl pushes Tezcatlipoca into the river. All of the children of Asenna eat each other. And so the first dominant creature in the galaxy kills the second one. And there you have the war in heaven, conceptually, where the two oldest, most dominant societies in the galaxy try to kill each other, actually. And, this is before all of us are get like 300 billion years ago, you know what I mean? And eventually, one of them kills the other. And the survivor is Empire. And they kind of have this cultural grief, cultural hypnosis, cultural just cultural guilt over the fact that they annihilated all other life in the universe for a really long time. And so they just kind of cordoned themselves off in one little cutout of the galaxy that no one else can really figure out how to get into. And that's because they don't want you in there. And so they just kind of watch from outside the windows, waiting for another sentient society to pop up. But they don't like having neighbors. And so they send, and this is delusion at this point, but they send agents to governments for the purpose of slowing down development in the hopes that you would never even meet Empire as a concept, because they don't want noise in the universe, because they don't want another war in heaven. They don't want to have to blow up another people's planet, so they just stop you from getting that far. But one day, the other societies in the universe just stopped listening to the representative. And they realized that it was really quiet in the universe, except for this guy who showed up all of a sudden. He's 800 years old, you know what I mean? And so they went in an opposite direction scientifically of whatever Empire was telling them, and they found other planets, other life, and they created the Federation in opposition of Empire, in opposition of what they were being kept from. And so all other cultures in the universe are part of the Federation, because one day we will become spacefaring sentient society and realize that all of space has already been carved up by other peoples. And it has a join or die mentality where if you want to leave your solar system, you have to sign up to fly through our space, right? In the same way, you wouldn't be able to sail a ship through NATO waters without being part of the NATO alliance. You can't put a ship through Federation space without being part of the Federation. And so 3 extraterrestrial organizations exist. Empire, who tries to stop noise in the universe, and Federation, who has a live, join or die mentality, and is the only other reasonable voice out there, and us, conceptually unenlightened societies. We're just kind of kicking around, waiting to meet the rest of the aliens. What's up with the White House ballroom? You know what I'm talking about? People always joke about there being a bunker under the White House ballroom now, and I kind of buy it. The conspiracy. What if there's an alien down there now? What if it's not even a ballroom?